Welcome to the brand new Draymond Green Show YouTube channel. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our content. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Draymond Green Show. We are here at Resort World in Las Vegas for the NBA Summer League. I'm honored to have another champion here on the Draymond Green Show. Two-time world champion, my brother, KCP. What's up, my dog?
What's up, my dog? What's up, man?
Welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you coming on. I always talk about like the resume you gotta have to be a guest on the show. Like we don't just want anybody. Like we want all-stars, we want champions, we want Hall of Famers. Cause that's what the people want.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming on, man.
I appreciate you having me, my brother, man. I appreciate it.
You know the beautiful thing about being a sports fan? There's only like 2 days the whole year without a game. 2. With so much happening and so much action, that makes just about every day game day at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. It really couldn't be any easier or any simpler. Baseball, golf, UFC, there's something for every fan of every sport to bet on DraftKings. And I know it's early, but football season will be here before you know it. And the Kansas City Chiefs are currently the favorite to win the Super Bowl on DraftKings at plus 550. And if you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HOOPS. That's HOOPS. That's code HOOPS for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Absolutely. But I mean, let's get into it. Take me back growing up in Georgia, country. What was it like for you growing up and to make it out of there? Like, was it AAU that got you out? Was it the high school? Like, what was it that got you out?
I would say AAU basketball for sure. That was the most exposure I had as far as on the basketball circuit. I'm probably maybe had one college coach to ever come see me at my high school, to see me play. But yeah, AAU opened the doors up for me for sure.
Who was that coach?
I forget his name, old coach from Alabama.
Okay.
But like we was the first coach to ever come see me play. But after that, that's when I ended up seeing 3 coaches from Georgia, and that's when I committed to Georgia, like verbally, because I wanted to stay home, close to home, and to have my family be able to travel to come see me not too far. So like Georgia was always, was gonna be home base for me, even though I had like all the offers in the SEC, but I wanted to stay close to the crib.
No, I love that. Same for me. We're going to Michigan State. Like I wanted to be close to the crib, and so that was a big thing for me. So you get one high school coach to come to you, one college coach to ever come to your high school, but you become a McDonald's All-American. Explain that to me, because I had way more high school coaches. College coaches come to my high school, and I wasn't no McDonald's.
Shit, your high school probably be triple the size as mine. But like I said, AAU opened them doors up for me, where being on that basketball circuit, doing what I do best, shooting the ball, just, playing basketball, having fun. Like that's when I started getting like a lot of eyes on me, being able to like sending out my highlights, in high school for like, coaches, like college coaches to see. I feel like I had like most of the college coaches come see me play when I was playing AAU basketball. So like I said, that opened up the doors for me.
So I have a question, a very interesting one for me. We're like the same height. And I'm a center. You too. For me, growing up in a small city, being the tallest guy, they just put you at center. Now, it was a little different for me, which is where I got my guard skill from, because I played center defensively, but offensively I played point guard. But my uncle was the coach, so he taught me the game. He taught me, so I had all the guard skills, which is why I'm able to play the position the way I do now. But there's always this thing of when you're the tallest kid in the small city, everybody want to make you a center. That clearly wasn't the case for you. Why was that?
And I had a couple guys that was taller than me in high school, so that I didn't have to play that position, even though I did play all 5 positions in high school. But yeah, I had some guys that were 6'8", 6'9", playing in high school with me.
At that small ass school.
At a small school, yeah. So like I got a chance to be able to just play my position, and like it elevated my games. Just learning every position, I would say, and also just every day after school, going to my hometown basketball court, playing with the older kids, guy that pushed me around, stuff like that made me a little bit tougher, and it just, basketball just stuck with me, man. It was something about the game that I loved, and it just shows.
Absolutely. And 8th pick to the Detroit Pistons, drafted by Joe Dumars, which is like a father figure to me.
Still talk to Joe.
We go way back there. I remember like as soon as you got drafted.
Yeah.
But just walk me through that experience, going to the Pistons, which wasn't the organization then that it is now.
Yeah, true.
Talk me through that experience and like going to Detroit, coming from the South, going to the cold, snow.
That I feel like that was the biggest adjustment for me, the snow. Like my first year there as a rookie, man, it snowed all the way into about May. So like that was like the hardest adjustment, being able to learn how to drive in that, get to work, be safe. But I feel like it was tough for me the first 2 years. I couldn't get my family out there. Like my family wouldn't travel out there. Like having good vets around me at the time, got me through my first 2 years, to understand the game. But my experience there, man, was great. I got a chance to like show like more than I can do, because I feel like they drafted me because of my defense potential, I would say. I don't think they knew what I could do offensively then. So I had an opportunity to like showcase that, and that what took my career off.
You said you had good vets. I always talk about the importance of vets in the locker room.
Yeah.
I am a product of great vets. I had Jared Jack, Jermaine O'Neal, David Lee, Carl Andrew, David West. Like I had Andrew Bogut. I had great vets. And like now, that's one of the things I think is missing from the league. You look at some of these teams, and like some of these teams, vets are in like year 4 or 5. True. It's like, yo, you're not a vet.
Not yet. Nah, you need like scratch the surface of what a vet is for sure.
It's crazy. Like in year 5 of my career, I had won 2 championships. In year 7 of my career, by year 7, I had won 3 championships and played in 4 NBA finals. Nobody in the Golden State Warriors organization was looking at me like I'm a vet.
Right.
And yeah, you got guys now who ain't got no rings.
Oh, nothing.
No All-Star appearances. No nothing. But they kind of walk around this league like they vets.
It's the era now. Like I came in in 2013. My vet was, I had Chauncey Billups. I played with Chauncey.
Wow.
Played with Taysom Prince. I had an opportunity to be coached by Rasheed Wallace. So I also had a chance to be around that bad boy era. Even though they was on their way out, but still I got an opportunity to them being my vets. And then like I had Josh Smith as a vet, what I'm saying, to been through the league, the ups and downs, Like I had like a bunch of guys, Charlie Villanueva. I had some good vet that taught me how to be a professional, how to stay in this league, and just to be mentally strong. So
did Ben come back? Were you still there when Ben came back?
No, I wasn't there when Ben came back. When Ben came back, it was he was retiring. They was retiring his jersey. So I got the opportunity to see that as well. Yeah. So like, and retiring Chauncey's jersey there. So I got an opportunity to see a lot of things and like be around a lot of great people. Like you said, Joe Dumars, man, he the one that drafted me, put me in position to like be able to meet these guys and be a part of that family.
There was a story, famous story. You've been with Clutch Sports your entire career.
Yes.
There there's a famous story about the contract that you turned down in Detroit. Number one, I don't know whether you turned the contract down or not. I would love to hear that from you. But what I do know is if you did turn the contract down, you've made all the money plus more.
Plus more. But
talk to me about that.
You know, me and Rich talk about it a lot. And now, like, that we here in my career now, we can laugh about it a little bit. But I didn't turn down that much money. You know, that money wasn't offered to me, but like what they were saying. But like, even if I did turn it down, like you said, you know, Rich believed in me. I believed in myself, you know, and what I can do. And I felt like at the time I deserved more than what they've offered me. So like me and my team, we made a decision where, all right, if I put in the work, he gonna handle the rest. So that's all that was said. Like I put in the work, you know, and made all that money back and plus more. So like my work paid off, you know, as far as like me, like everybody just might say I turned it down. Okay, cool. I turned it down. Got it back, you know. It didn't take long, but like we slow grounded 1 year, 2 years, 1 year, you know, but we ended up getting it all back.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the most interesting things, the part that people don't talk about, people always want to talk about your failures. They always want to talk about where someone falls short. They always want to talk about this guy didn't get that money. He turned this down. He turned that down. But the side they don't talk about is if you stay there, are you a two-time champion? Because you still got the money, plus more.
Yeah.
Double at this point. But if you never go to the Lakers, if that never happens, you don't end up at the Lakers.
Yeah, that path, yeah.
Do you end up a champion? So when you look back at that now, was the stress of waiting ultimately worth what came in the end?
Yeah. Like, because I've had going through that process after Detroit, I had some stressful moments, you know, where it took me here and then it brought me down, you know. So I believing in myself, believing in God, you know, having my wife, my support, you know, and everybody around me, you know, like encourage me, you know, like you got this, your game shows, you know, everything, you know, just go out there and play your game. Don't worry about anything else. And I set my mind to that, you know, like do your job, you know, like don't let nobody outdo you, and just play hard no matter what.
Was there ever a point in that where you started to doubt yourself or where you started to doubt Rich?
I wouldn't say I never had a doubt, but like I say I was impatient, I would say. Like, I wanted to come like as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? That's all like he would tell you that like that's all he always would tell me, you know, just be patient. You know, it's gonna come, be patient. This is just the job, the business, you know. So like that was just me being impatient, you know, and just doubting myself, you know, and like having a little bit doubt then, but that's just due to being impatient, you know, wanting it now, you know, instead of waiting on it. As I got older, you know, I started to learn that, you know, patience, you know, it helps me stay calm, stay peaceful, you know, and I know my guy Rich, you know, I know he got my back. You know, I've been knowing him since I've been in this league. So
yeah, Rich the best, man. Like from a contract negotiation standpoint, obviously. But it goes so much further than that. I don't think people understand that.
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, when we talk, like we rarely talk about basketball.
Ever.
So it's like why ain't you calling you? Like, but like that's him though. Like he knows like what he can do. Like so it's not just like you said. It's just not about basketball.
Yeah.
You know, and he makes sure of that. Like, all right, don't worry about this thing. I got that. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about anything else. And I like he don't help me with a lot of stuff. You know. So
yeah, I think I always tell people like, man, I think what I appreciate most about Rich is he teach you how you're supposed to live your life. Like
true.
So many guys get taken advantage of. So many guys don't see stuff coming, and I think he he teaches us how you're supposed to live. B, one of the most impressive things I think Rich has ever done with me, and like yourself, that's my brother. Like, he's in my wedding. Like, goes so much further than being an agent. But I think when I also know how to separate the two. I know 99.9% of our calls, I'm talking to my brother. 0.1% I'm talking to my agent. And I know how to separate the two, but I think one of the things that stood out to me most, and I still say it to this day, Alec, when I bought my first home, and I was searching for homes in LA, this dude walked 10 houses with me. And I remember when I first found a home, I found a house in Bel Air that I thought was the house I was going to buy. And man, me and Hazel was excited as shit.
Yeah.
Like, look at this house. This
house,
is nice.
yeah.
Like, Rich was out of town when we first saw it. He like, I'm back tomorrow. I land at this time. Schedule it for this time. We'll go see it right away. As soon as I land, I'll go straight from the airport to the house.
Yeah.
Perfect. He land, we get to the house. We walk in, I'm excited as shit. Like, I got the crib.
First
like,
house, yeah,
woo.
for sure.
He walk in, he like, nope. This thing, nope. That thing, way too much of this here. Nope. Look at this marble right here. We go in the backyard. It's like beautiful backyard, so it appears. But like if you actually go through it, some of the stone is mismatched. It's like they went to this stone yard and got what the stone that was left there cheapest. Went over to this stone yard, got the stone that was left there at the cheapest, put it all together. And when he showed me, we walked through this house and he started pointing out all these things. We didn't even make it through the whole house. We got up to the master bathroom. He stopped in the master bathroom. He sat down and he said, listen, I'm not letting y'all buy this house.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Because y'all will be looking for the next sucker to come buy this house from y'all. Because he about to sucker y'all for this money right now. Then y'all going to be looking for the next sucker
to get out
to come buy this house for y'all. And for me, that was, and by the way, this is well into him being my agent, years into him being my agent. But that to me was like a level of detail, a level of care that like, you don't get that from agents.
You don't get that.
These agents not coming to walk a house. They don't care what house you buy.
They really don't even, just get one. That's what they saying. Like, that's what I said, man. I respect Rich so much, man, like, because he helped me out with so much, like I said, like a few things with like being married young, you know what I'm saying? Even, he's been through it, but like just helping me navigate that, because like it's so much. He gave me that safe space, to be able to talk to him about that, and like I said, like we talk about whatever it is. Like I said, 95% of the time is not basketball we talking about, and it's just about life. Like that's what I respect about him a lot, man. He's just humble kid. Like even just, man, like reading his book, like, man, I felt like I was him. Like, so like it was crazy. I was like, man, I feel you. And I when I read it, I was like, man, I did not know half of that about you.
Yeah.
Like he don't showcase it, you know what I'm saying? But like I didn't know half of that about you.
I learned so much from reading that book.
Yeah, that's why me too.
Like
me too.
It's crazy. Story's insane. So then you go from Detroit, kid from Georgia, country, move to Detroit, that adjustment, and then LA. What was the adjustment like now going from Detroit to Los Angeles? For the Lakers, by the way. Nobody's showing up to these games in Detroit. I know this.
I wouldn't say that. Like when I was in Detroit, playing at the Palace, we had a nice little crowd.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I was like, the Palace is like historical, you know what I'm saying?
For
like
sure.
the Bad Boy Days area. So like we had some fans in there now. Like it was a few fans in there.
But they ain't the Laker fans.
True. There's a lot different from that. Like, cause I said it after I won, the championship, but like it's love-hate relationship with the Lakers fans. Like they love you regardless, you know what I'm saying? But like you doing bad or like you ain't playing up to your potential that they think you can play at, like they own you. Like they gonna let you know, like, and then you playing at your greatest, like they with you. You know what I'm saying? I would say they with you regardless, but like they gonna let you know when you're doing good, when you're doing bad, and that's what I respect so much about their fans. You know, they hardcore. You know what I'm saying? They own you.
What and how are they on you? Like, is that coming through social media? Is that like you walking down the streets of LA? They coming up like
I would say a little bit of both. I wouldn't say they not so negative like when they see you in person, you know what I'm saying? Like more, you know, supportive, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? In the heat of the moment, in the arena, I can see a little bit different in there, like what they telling you, like, you know, pick it up, you know. I've had, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of both, you know, through social media, like in the arenas, you know, like to a point where they was like comment on my wife pictures or like the pictures she posting and saying shit about me. So it was a lot of stuff that was going on at one point when I was there.
You get to the Lakers. Lakers not very good. I think, what, a year later, 2 years later, Bron comes.
Year later.
Y'all get Bron.
Yep.
Changes the outlook of the franchise at that point. Lakers had been struggling for a while, kind of toward on the end of Kobe's tenure.
Yep.
And to Kobe retiring a couple years. You get there. Then Bron come. What was that like? Like that big of a force coming to the team, the media attention, which the media attention for the Lakers is already crazy, but then you get Bron there. Like, what was that transition then like from going from playing with like all these young dudes and you kind of being the vet in the sense of what we were talking about?
Yeah, been that young vet, they so-called, today. Yeah, I was. I think the older two guys when I got there 2017 was I had Isaiah Thomas and Brook Lopez and Corey Brewer. I was only three older guys, and I was 24 at the time when I got there. Everybody else was like 19, 20, 21. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Then Bron come in. How did it change everything? Did it change from day one in practice? Did it change just the games? It was also a growing process. I don't think y'all made the playoffs that first year.
Yeah, no, it definitely was a growing process. Cause everybody, him adjusting, to everybody, and then everybody trying to adjust, to like him being there as well. So, like it was a big adjustment. Everything did shift. You know what I'm saying, as far as like, how we practice, how we watch film. Like doing like stuff as a team. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff changed there. And I was fortunately to have, Rondo too at the time. When Bron was there. So like them two can both navigate, what's on the court, and how we want to play, I would say. But like it was an adjustment, but I don't think it was a big adjustment.
How was the conversation? I'm a basketball nerd. I love the X's and O's. I love the game within the game. And so I'm asking this question personally for me because I want to know.
Okay.
What was the dynamic, the conversations like amongst Bron and Rondo? Because for me, those are two of the greatest basketball minds to ever play in the NBA.
I would say the conversation, the dialogue, like as far as like in film, man, like they broke down everything. Like that's who, like Rondo, the one that taught me how to watch film. How to watch. Like I didn't start watching a full game of film until like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Like that's who taught me how to watch a full game of film. And like, but you can just watch it, you know what I'm saying? But like he taught me what am I looking for, you know what I'm saying, when I'm watching this film. And then just having them two together in film together, man, it made everything so easy, on the court. You know what I'm saying? Because now you know where to be. When this motion is happening, I know I got to shift this way or I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? So they break it all the way down to a point where like, if you fucking up, you're not giving out effort. You know what I'm saying? So like, if they give it to you this way, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's knowledge, man. Just take that. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things I took away from both of them. I just learned how to like break down that film, and actually know what I'm looking at
Mm-hmm.
when I'm breaking it down, you know.
Mhm.
So that was, and it's helped my career, you know what I'm saying? Being able to be a leader on other teams,
Mhm.
you know. So
Absolutely. Was there ever a point or were there ever times where those two bump heads on their ideas? Because them some high level thoughts both of them dudes have. Were there ever times that they bump heads on their ideas? And if so, was there ever a time where Bron will back down and say, okay, we going with what Rondo's saying?
yeah, I feel like they both had, you know, their disagreements, you know, as far as like what we doing. But I feel like that would be, you know what I'm saying, more when they discussing together, because I've never seen it, you know what I'm saying, happen, you know, in person. So I feel like if they discussing amongst themselves, like have a disagreement, I feel like them guys, you know, they fix it before they even kind of, like, before we see them, or like before we have like team film, you know, or whatever. But yeah, I've never seen them like disagree in person. But if they did, it's like, I feel like they both, you know what I'm saying, humble enough to like be able to listen to each other, you know what I'm saying, as far as like, because they both, like you said, man, one of the greatest at knowing the game. And I feel like, you know, them both hearing each other out, you know, helps out both of them.
Absolutely. And speaking of your time with the Lakers, y'all didn't go on to win a championship in the bubble. There's a lot of perspectives on the bubble. Quite frankly,
Yeah.
by most people who weren't there.
Right.
Right. But there's a lot of perspectives on the bubble. What was your perspective on it? Someone who was there, won a championship there, so essentially was there the longest time. What was your perspective on the bubble and being in it?
It was hard. I'll say this, for me, I'm gonna rephrase it. It wasn't hard, you know what I'm saying? I enjoyed, you know what I'm saying, the time, you know, of just, you know, reflecting on myself. You know, I was there by myself. You know, you can't really see nobody, you can't really have the family there. But that's the biggest sacrifice I had was just not having my family there, you know. Trying to manage to deal with that, you know, the kids. I just had my third child at the time, and he was just a baby, you know. So that was the biggest sacrifice, you know, for me, just leaving the family for that amount of 3 months. At that time, man, was a lot, and I felt like it was, for me, it was great. You know, the stuff we did in the bubble, or like being locked in that room, I did that at home. Right? So, like, if I'm in my game room, you know, I'm down there 6 hours straight playing the game. So it's like, it really didn't faze me as much, you know what I'm saying, as far as like me missing the family and the kids, you know, stuff like that. But other than that, man, I had a great time.
That's funny. And for those that say the bubble championship has an asterisk next to it, I'll say it before you go. I am not of that group,
man,
because it is hard as hell to win a championship. I don't care where the fuck you win it at. But for those that say there's an asterisk next to the championship that y'all won in the bubble, what do you say to them?
They just hating, man. It's like that's like you said, it's one of the hardest things to, like, the championship to win, I would say. You know, playing a season and season shut down, like, don't know if we're gonna even come back to play basketball, or like we so high off like the regular season on how we was playing, and then we like, what the fuck? Season's over with. Like, damn. All right, what if we can't come back? Because we already had in our mind, like, man, this is our championship, regardless of if COVID stopped it or not. You know, so then the season stops, you know, boom, season start back up, but we gotta go to the bubble. So, like, before they even, you know, like, before it even happened, like, going to the bubble, like, as a team, you know, we still, like, you know what I'm saying, was able to, like, you know, hoop, I would say. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really, like, we did it within the rims of, like, the testing of the NBA, you know, stuff like that. But, like, we would still be able to, like, be around each other, be able to hoop, you know what I'm saying, and have fun, like, regardless of, like, if the season is stopped. So once the we knew the season was like starting back up in the bubble, like we was hyped. Like we was ready to go get our championship, like that we was at, like that we wanted. You know what I'm saying? Then, season stopped again in the bubble.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of people don't like these things, like have people's mind messed up. Like, man, all right, now it's time. I'm ready to go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget basketball. So like, I'm so grateful, and I'm like I appreciate all like my teammates at the time. Like, man, their mindset was like on that championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't ready to go. Like they came here for a reason. Like, and we wanted it. So
you said it was harder. It was one of the hardest championships to win. As someone who's won multiple championships, what made it so much harder to win there as opposed to if you're going to Miami for an away game, or you're going to another place?
I would just say the mindset we had, and how everything had happened. I was saying, like, COVID shutting down, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wanted that one so bad, you know what I'm saying? We would have jumped through flaming hoops for it, So, like I said, this was like, for me, it was the hardest one because of like all the shutdown, like restarting shutdown, like that can change a lot of people's mindset, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, man, fuck this. Like it's I'm not dealing with this anymore, So I was appreciated that, thankful that everybody on the team at the time had the same mindset. They weren't ready to go. So
there was word that came out of those meetings, and again, for those of y'all watching, I was not there because we absolutely sucked that year. I think we won 15 games, and so we didn't actually make the bubble.
Yeah, I had a lot going on that year, man. A lot going on.
To be quite honest, I was in LA having a great time, so I'm actually a little happy we didn't make the bubble. Also, before we move forward, Adam Silver, the mayor of Los Angeles, who wasn't the mayor at the time. So, talking to the previous mayor, this man just admitted that they ignore all y'all COVID guidelines, all y'all testing. They kept playing basketball. They cheated on their way to a championship. I feel like this is Deflategate-esque or something of that nature, because these guys, when none of us could play basketball, they just kept playing basketball and getting better, and then they go on and win a championship. So that's why I'm putting an asterisk next to it, because they was cheating. No, I'm just playing.
We did it through the rules, man. Every player got tested. You know what I'm saying? If you had COVID, you gotta go home. You can't be around us, man. We did. Like,
I bet Bron probably had Michelle sitting there testing everybody.
Man, we just we didn't want to stop playing. Like, man, and it was like, if it's just the Lakers team at the time, like no outsiders, nobody, like everybody's within the perimeter, like the COVID testing that the NBA wanted. Like, I felt like we was good. Like they couldn't say nothing.
Well, guess what? They definitely can't say nothing now. So it's a great time to talk about it.
3 years later, man. 3 years later, we good.
Great time to talk about it. But there was reports that came out during that time where y'all was like having the meetings in the bubble and the season stopped. There was reports that came out that most of that, like the season stopping and people not wanting to play, was from the Clippers team at that time. Is there any truth to that? Like, because, by the way that they went out, it kind of looked like it was true.
By the way, that was one of my favorite series of the bubble. That Nuggets Clippers series. It was just like, man, how in the hell? You up 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you talked about leaving, like, you up 3-1. Like,
finish the
job, man. Come on, lose the next round.
Fact.
Like, you knew everybody wanted to see Lakers Clippers that year.
Yes.
Just finish the job, and like, then we can sweep y'all. Like, then you can go home. Like, I don't do it now. Like, and then we just sitting there waiting. Like I said, that's one of the favorite series I like, because we had to sit there and watch. You know what I'm saying? This whole series. So
who was in the meeting quitting?
Who was in the meeting?
From the Clippers team, who was in there quitting? Man, because of what I heard, that there were some guys from the Clippers team in there like, man, I don't want to play. I want to go home. Is that true? Who was in there quitting? I just want to know because, by the way, if you ask me, they left a championship sitting on the table. Now, whether they would have beat y'all or not, we'll never know.
It would have been one of the best series, you know what I'm saying, that year. You know what I'm saying? For the like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like everybody wanted it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we wanted it as well. Like, we wanted that opportunity, like, all right, we're gonna put this shit to bed. Like Lakers versus Clippers. Like, here it is. You know. And they just shit to bed, man. But like you said back to that conversation, like I've heard it, yeah. It did come from their team, but I don't know who said it. You know what I'm saying?
The boys was quitting.
Them boys was like, they was ready to go. It was first team ready to go. And then like I forget who OG, Miami, what's his name? Udonis Haslem. He stood up and he was like, man, he just talked about more for like it being for the younger guys and the like the guys ain't gonna be able to have no money, you know what I'm saying, if we do stop this like right now. Like, what about these guys, man? They just getting drafted, you know what I'm saying? With year 2, 3 guys, like what are they supposed to do about money? You know, like are you older guys gonna help them out? You know what I'm saying? Some of your vets and your rookies, I mean, you know, some of your younger guys. So I think that like kind of shifted when he stood up and said all that. And I think that changed a lot of guys' mind, but like that were the first team ready to go for sure.
That's crazy. Them boys left a golden opportunity sitting right there on the table, and they never got it again.
That's why I told you, like, when like a lot of stuff, the stopping, like it had a lot of people's mindset change. Like, now, all right, I've been here long enough, man. All right, you want to stop? All right, I'm done. You know, so appreciate the 2020 Lakers team, you know, for having that mindset, you know what I'm saying, of winning that championship.
Absolutely. I think it's crazy what, you know, hearing UD stood up and said that, because the reality is, I remember sitting with Rich when y'all were in the bubble.
Yeah.
And like when all those conversations was going on, Rich is literally getting calls as it's going on.
Yeah.
As it's ending, what's next? We got another meeting later. And I remember sitting there with him, and one of the things that he was saying, which no one was thinking about, is, and to Udonis' point, but even to take it a step further, if we stop now, not only does those young guys not make money, but you're actually going to have to negotiate an entirely new collective bargaining agreement.
Yes.
Which could take up to a year or two to actually negotiate that agreement. And so the league was stopped for 2 years.
2 years.
Now, today, you're not closing a $76 billion TV deal if that stops.
True.
Right? So when you look at all of those factors and the effect that it had on the league, now, how can you say the championship that was won through all of those factors have an asterisk by it?
That's why I stopped listening to people when they say that, man. Like, I just like, man, all right. It's a championship. We won.
And I got my ring.
Right. We were still able to celebrate, you know what I'm saying, like on it properly, you know, in Orlando. But I mean, we had a great time, and we not like in the finals, I think, like end of the conference finals, and then finals, we was able to have the family there, you know, which was great. You know, our family was able to like see us win the championship. We got the confetti coming down. Like, it still was a, you know, championship level, but you know, everybody would have loved for the fans to be there. Yeah. You know, to be able to celebrate with the fans. But, you know, at that time, unfortunately, we didn't get the opportunity, but we won.
Adam pulling that bubble off is still one of the greatest things I've ever seen in sports.
Come on, man.
Like
how you do that, and with that amount of time you have, you know what I'm saying, you get this done. I was able to come here, you know, play, and not have to worry about, you know what I'm saying. And with like going back to like the bubble, like, but like it was so much like just so much basketball. I could hear everything, you know, play calls, you know what I'm saying. Team, they calling everything out, like that was like much important to me, man. I can focus just on basketball. You couldn't even, like, they might pump the crowd noise in, but it's just like them cheering. Yeah. So now you don't hear nobody talking to you, throwing off your game. So like that, I enjoyed that, man. I could play basketball. That's why I turned up. You know what I'm saying? So
no, it was definitely I had fun watching it. In LA outside, it was great. The weather was amazing. I had a beautiful time watching it. But then moving on, you win a championship with the Lakers. You eventually end up moving on to the Denver Nuggets. What was that experience like going from playing with Bron, who I always tell people don't understand how hard it is to get a good shot every time down the floor.
Yeah.
And when Bron, there are a few players, only a few though, there's not many. Bron obviously being one of them. Joker obviously being one of them. Where you come down the court and every time they are capable of getting the team a good shot. What was it like going from then playing with Bron, who's able to do that, but then going to play with Joker, who kind of does it in a different way?
What? That's what I was about to say.
Bron.
Like, it was just Bron. You see Bron on the ball mostly, you know what I'm saying, bringing the ball up. Even though Yoke can do the same thing, 0.5. But, like, once you get that, like them two guys, man, they demand attention. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they check the ball in.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, and I just fed off that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew them guys was gonna have so much attention on them, and I was gonna either get a wide open shot or we create a wide open shot. You know what I'm saying? Now the defense gotta move because somebody's open. They either doubling them two guys, you know what I'm saying? And what made it so much easier, and that's why I say I don't see a difference between them two. You know what I'm saying? Their IQ is fucking out this world. They can play joking, they can shoot, both of them play. They got it all around game. You know what I'm saying? But I would say is for them, like for me, what made my career great playing with them, like they were willing to pass the ball when you open. Like I don't care what type of pass it was. Like if you open, they're gonna try to get it to you. You know what I'm saying? And all I had to do was be ready to shoot. You know what I'm saying? So in that, like, kudos to both of them guys, man. Like they have made my career better. Like later in my years. So like, man, they're my brothers, man. Like,
No doubt.
my brothers.
No doubt. And then being in Denver, 2022 season don't end the way you want it to end. Jamal Murray's out. Then you come back 2023 with Jamal Murray. Were y'all in the space going into 2023, or at what point in that season was it like going in where we got Jamal back, we think we're a championship team? Or was it at some point during that season like, we can do this?
No. I mean, I felt like they already knew they was a championship team. Like the previous years before it happened to me, they made the playoffs, every year, almost. I feel like they always tell me, they say it was missing just the one piece. And like when I got traded there, and I felt the same thing. I was like, man, I felt this in training camp. Like when I'm walking around, guys, man, like, man, look, we can just stay focused, man. Like we got a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just me, before I even got there, me watching from the outside, you know what I'm saying, how the team chemistry was. I was like, yeah, like me plugging into that spot, man, was like the best fit, like, so I told him, like, start a training camp, man. Like, man, we're gonna win the championship. Like, we're gonna win the championship. Like, if we can just, stay together, and continue to, like, sacrifice and play for each other, man. Like, it's gonna be a cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and them, like me, like being that vocal leader, talking about that, like being the only one at the time, having that championship. I feel like them guys, they listened, they gravitated towards you, like toward me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I spoke, I didn't even speak about offense. We had top 5, offense, that year. And for me, it was just about their defense. Like, first thing I walked up to Coach Malone and asked him, like, you know what I'm saying, what was our defense last year? Like, they was like 20. You know what I'm saying? Winning the championship, we was number 1 in the West, and we was top 5 defense. You know what I'm saying? So, like top 10. So switching that, you know what I'm saying, up, like it changed a lot, man. I'm just being, like I said, going back earlier, you know what I'm saying, like learning from them guys, man, being that leader. I think it was important for them, like at the time for the Nuggets, you know what I'm saying, to hear that, you know what I'm saying, to be able to have a guy that's won a championship, you know what I'm saying, that's been through that type of pressure, you know what I'm saying, and taking my knowledge that I know from that championship, you know what I'm saying, even though they say it was the bubble. But like, I learned a lot, you know, as far as like how to get there, you know, what it takes, you know, and just bringing that to Denver, you know, them guys like gravitated towards, man, like they stuck with it.
Absolutely. Also, I intentionally skipped over Washington, by the way, just so you know.
It's all good.
We don't need to discuss.
Nah, there's not much to say there, man, you know. Because at one point, we started off 10-4. You know, we was number one at one point, you know, at the time.
It's always interesting starting the season and seeing the bum teams at number 1 and number 2 in the conference. And you know they're going to finish at 14, 12.
We definitely dropped down for sure, quick.
It's always interesting. But nonetheless, like I said, you know what? We're going to act like that never happened because Detroit is where it started.
We got to have a little couple speed bumps in there.
The Lakers championship, then there's like a blob of time that goes, and then the Nuggets. So
you know how a road trip you see a nice little area, you want to take a detour. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Say it was just like a little stop.
By the way, I love DC.
Me too.
Oh, DC is amazing. I absolutely love DC. But yeah, we're not gonna even talk about your time.
Yeah, DC was like, it was a great city for me. Like my kids, family loved it, you know, even though it was a year. We enjoyed it. We met like some great people there, you know, even though we still friends with them now. Like, so like, it's a great city.
Last year, y'all ended up losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Not able to defend the title and go back to back. Throughout that season, did you know y'all didn't quite have the championship team like y'all had the year before? Losing Bruce Brown, losing Jeff Green. I think those were some huge losses.
Yeah.
So in going through that season, did you feel like y'all didn't quite have a championship team?
No, I thought we still had it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, the people we had behind Bruce and Jeff, you know, Peyton Watson, you know, Christian Brown, like, them guys into like championship run, you know what I'm saying, them guys showed promise, you know what I'm saying, that they'll be able to pick that slack up, you know. Like, and we also have faith in them guys as well, you know, that they was gonna do the same, you know. But, you know, it's all about opportunity. You know, if they get the opportunity, you know, do what you do best, you know what I'm saying. I feel like during that season, you know, to run it back to back, you know, we all had the same mindset. Like, that's what we wanted to do. You know, we had a few bumps in the road, like, you know what I'm saying, where we slipped up, you know what I'm saying, but it's a three-way tie for first.
Yeah.
You know, like, I feel like that's where we spent most of, you know how, like, towards the playoff guys get their rest, but I feel like that's where we spent most of, you know, our energy and, like time, you know what I'm saying, trying to get that first place, you know what I'm saying.
Playing catch up.
And then, like, we get to the playoffs, we have no gas, you know. We felt like the Lakers should have beat us. Like, we was down
They should have.
every game.
They definitely should have.
At least 10 to, like, I mean, the highest maybe, but what, 20 something? Like then just taking that energy, you know, using it there. So, like, it was a lot that went into that season, you know, that we wish we could have, you know, did better.
That's interesting because when I think back to, like, our runs, that first year we won it first like nobody's tomorrow. And we got it. We won the championship. The second year, which was 2016, we won 73. And so, although we weren't chasing the first seed, we were chasing the 73 wins. And when I look back on it, I don't regret it because, quite frankly, I don't think we ran out of gas in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, we were up 3-1 still. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was necessarily something that boiled down to like, we ran out of gas. However, what I will say is this, though. After that, trying to win them 73 was so exhausting that then 2017, KD came.
Yeah.
And it was never about, like, can we get the number 1 seed? Like, we beat a bunch of teams, so we're going to be in the race for it anyway.
Yeah.
But it was never our goal, like, yo, we got to get the number 1 seed. Because I felt like at that point, we knew, like, A, we can win on the road. So we need to go win a road game. We can do that.
Yeah.
Or 2 if we need to. Like, we felt like we could do that. And B, some teams try to drop and stuff to get matchups that they want. That was never a thing for us. Like, it don't really matter who we match up against. And so it's interesting to hear that, though, because I feel like our mindset right after that was like, we're going to make sure we get to the playoffs healthy.
Yeah.
Not necessarily be the number 1. If we're the 3 seed, who cares? Like, it don't matter. And so it's interesting to hear a team that just won a championship. But then again, I guess when I look back on it, that next year we were chasing wins too. But it's just interesting to hear a team that won a championship say we felt like we had to get the number 1 seed.
Yeah. I feel like that's what I wouldn't say the mistake, but like trying to get that, And it was like, I want to say we had like 8 to 10 games left, like to even like try to get that first place. But like you had OKC, you had Minnesota, like with them guys, they was fucking hooping. Like the team was like killing. So like it's just me thinking to like talking to the older guys, DJ. So like, man, it's like I felt like that's like where our mindset was, you know what I'm saying? We knew we was gonna make the playoff, but it was like, oh no, we want number 1 seed, you know what I'm saying? And it was like trying to figure out who we would match up with, that's what it's like. Don't worry about that. Let's just get to the playoffs, no matter what seed we are. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be our championship route where we was number 1 seed, where we had that route. No, it's not gonna be that this year. You know what I'm saying? Because during the season we did have Maul got hurt a little bit. He sat down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I sat out a few games. AG getting hurt. A lot of things happened within that, trying to race up for first. So, like you said earlier, we should have just been like trying to get there healthy, regardless of what seed we was, and then just go from there.
Before we get out of here, we must talk about, number 1, congratulations. New 3-year big money deal.
Man.
Another one, so congrats on that.
Appreciate it.
But first off, just what excites you? Well, before I go into that, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, the Magic are finally trying to win some games. And the reason I say that is because, so a couple of years ago, I was on the shop and Mav was asking me like, or P was asking me like, yo, who's the teams that like on a soft Tuesday, like you're just like, yo. And I was saying like, at the time it was the Kings.
Yeah.
Although the Kings for us was different because of that Northern California ride. But it was the Kings, the Orlando Magic. And it's funny because when we played the Magic the next year, the young fellas out there like, yeah, motherfucker, like, you think it's going to be easy game coming? And I was like, oh, I like them.
Right.
It's the young core that y'all got now.
Yeah.
But just talk to me. And, well, I actually spoke about this during that draft. They ended up drafting Paolo. Everybody was saying they was going to draft Jabari Smith. I personally thought Paolo should have been the number 1 pick. They ended up taking him. In large part, they was watching the Draymond Green Show, taking my intel.
Right,
they was high on Jabari.
Good intel.
Yeah,
right
they took the intel, but they did right. And I think Paolo is one of those generational players that organization hasn't been one that's been willing to spend money. They would give a Jeff Green a 1 year, $15 million, get somebody else 1 year, $15 million, which pretty much says we got a cap threshold that we have to reach. So we're going to give you this 1 year deal, but we're not really trying to win, and we're not locking nobody in. And now you see, like, obviously they got the young core. They just extended Fran.
Yep.
But bringing in someone like you says to me that, they serious now.
Yeah.
Like, they bringing in the guy who's proven to help lead teams, championship teams, proven leader, two-way guy, knock the shots down, defend the other guys, the other team's best wing player. They ready to win now. What are you, in looking at that situation that you're going into, what are you most excited about joining the Orlando Magic?
Man, I'm excited, like, all around, you know, just to be able to play with a young group of guys that's hungry, you know what I'm saying, that's had a taste of the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, took Cleveland to a game 7.
Yeah.
You know, they know what it takes. And like, just talking to a few guys, you know, their mindset, you know, is it's about winning. You know, it's not, oh, I'm this guy, I'm that guy. It's just about winning basketball games, and then trying to get to that point of winning a championship. But I'm just most excited just to play with them guys on this defensive end, man. Just they finished top 3 or 5, you know, top defensively. And Suggs, man, he made defensive team, you know, just them guys, you know, just that length. I'm excited just, man, to see how teams gonna, you know, try to play against this. You know, it's gonna be tough.
You just mentioned Suggs, so you now join Orlando Magic. Suggs is there, who's really good defender. Obviously, we know what you're capable of. By the way, I must say, I saw you guard when you were in Detroit, in particular. And I don't know if you remember this game. It was at the Palace. And then you did it again at Oracle. But I saw you probably guard Steph as good as I've ever seen anyone guard Steph.
I remember the game.
And
I remember
was
the one
just
at
like,
Oracle too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that one too.
And I was just like, man, I can't screen this dude. Like, I couldn't believe you guarded him that well.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew, like, yo, this dude is different defensively.
But, like, that didn't even like, I didn't even know I had that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it clicked my sophomore year in college. Like, where my freshman year, I was playing outside of my position. I was playing 3 guard.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, two fouls in college in the first half, you come on the bench.
On over here.
Right. So that was me, like, my whole freshman year. So I'm like, man, fuck, I want to play. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of sitting over here. And something just clicked. You know, next year, I'm going the best team, you know, like, player, and I'm actually moving my feet. You know what I'm saying? Stand in front of these guys, get steals. And I've never worked on defense like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, like, something just clicked in my head where, like, nah, this is your skill right here. Like, this is where you best at. You score the ball, you know what I'm saying? But, like, your mindset and how it works, defense works first, then the offense. You know what I'm saying? And I just carried that on, you know, when I got to Detroit. You know, it didn't happen till my second year, where, like, Stan came over. That's when I was guarding the best player every night. You know what I'm saying? And I just got stronger. I got better at it. You know what I'm saying? Started learning watching film. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all that. You know, got ties into it. But, like, that didn't happen. Like, just like, it just happened. Like, I don't know what. It just clicked.
So with you now being with the Magic, does that give y'all the best defensive backcourt in the league? Yeah.
I said it in my press conference. Don't be surprised if you see me and Suggs on some all defense team next year. So I supposed to made it this year too, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I don't know how that works, man.
Well, somebody got to move over because I wasn't qualified to make it this year. I'm not getting suspended next year.
Of course not.
So I'm going to make it. So somebody got to move over. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going to throw that out there now.
A lot of guys on there that I felt like I was, you know, better than, you know, defensively wise, you know, that was on there. You know, first team, you know, that I feel like that was solid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who they had up there. But, like, second team, you got to at least consider, you know what I'm saying, KCP for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, KCP do his thing, though.
I can dig that. I respect that. Fran just got his extension. obviously Paolo is next up, going to break the bank. What do you see that needs to happen with this team in order for it to take that next step? Like, got to Game 7, lost to Cleveland. That's great for a young team.
Yeah.
But a lot of teams get stuck right there.
Yeah.
What needs to happen with this young team to ultimately take that next step?
I feel like they got the formula already. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they one of the reasons they bringing me over, I feel like they didn't have a lot of shooting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where, you put a lot on, Paulo and Vaughn, to make plays, but you also got to have guys that are going to be ready to knock down that shot too. And it was like a lot of inexperience as well. They're young, it's the first time they're making it, as a young crew, a young core, like I was like surprised they went to Game 7, but seeing how they was the toughness, the effort they gave, man, like it made my decision easy, to come to Orlando, and they wanted me just as bad as, I wanted to be able to join their team, and add what I can add. So like that made it easier for like me to make my decision. But like I'm excited about these guys. Like they got the formula, just needed, like I said, just shooting, I would say. Just watching from like them watching through the playoffs.
Man, my brother, I appreciate you, my dog, coming on the show. It's been an honor sitting here having this conversation, talking to you about your journey. Man, it's like, obviously I've been on one team and never had to make those adjustments. And it's always interesting to me to hear that journey because I keep everything the same. Like I don't adjust to change well. And so to see like guys do that, I have a tremendous amount of respect. Like I struggle with like, oh man, it's a new coach on the staff, or it's a new trainer in the training room. It's a new strength coach in the way. Like I struggle with those things, and so
I say it's a hard adjustment. No matter you don't know what you're walking into. How the team, how the organization is, like how like the trainers are. Everybody around you. But like I would say, every team I've been on, like either somebody that came with me from the previous team, or I'm going to a team where I know someone, which made it easier, to be able to just come over there and like just fit right in. I know one person now, all right, and I can get to know everybody else. And every team I've been on, I feel like it's been that way. So, Alex Caruso, one of my good friends, man, the day I got traded, I signed with LA. I didn't even know he was playing with the G League team, and I played against him in college.
Wow.
So, like just having them type of like friendship, and like people that man, helps out a lot when you adjust into new teams and new cities.
Getting traded, having like with Kuz, having Brad there is about the only thing that saved Washington. my dog, I appreciate you, man. That's
appreciate
a wrap.
You, brother.
From the resort world, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Vegas, baby. Peace.